Um, right now we're learning two lessons. Last night with the first night of Hanukkah and our parties and lighting candles, etc. It was a little too late for me to do it. I had very little energy to do so at that time, and right now I'm barely making it, but I'm going to press forward. So this first lesson is going to cover positive commandment 200 and negative commandment 238, which are related to hired workers. First of all, the positive commandment 200 is coming from Deuteronomy 24:15, which says, "Give him his wage on the day it is due." So we're commanded, if you hire a day worker, you must pay them in a timely fashion. If they work during the day, they collect wages on the following night. The night worker collects their wages on the following day. This mitzvah applies to all workers, whether or not they're Jewish. And then negative commandment 238 comes and says, in Leviticus 19:13, the wages of a hired worker shall not be left with you overnight until the morning. So it's forbidden to delay the payment of a hired worker. A day worker must be given his wages on the night that follows, and a night worker on the day that follows. This prohibition, this in particular, applies to a Jewish worker as opposed to the positive commandment to pay in a timely fashion, which applies to both Jews and non-Jews. That's interesting. So it's a positive and a negative commandment. If you did not pay in a timely fashion for a Jewish worker, then you break two commandments. And if you did so for a non-Jewish one, you would break one commandment. Very interesting. All right. Now we're moving on to positive commandment 201 for today's lesson, lesson 290. And this mitzvah comes from Deuteronomy 23:25, which says, "When you come to work in your fellow's vineyard, you may eat the grapes. When you enter your fellow's standing grain, you may pick the ears with your hand." So what this means is that an employer must allow his worker to eat while working from the produce that he's working on. So he needs to stop and have something to eat, have a little snack to have his energy, etc. That is an actual mitzvah. Yeah, 5 hour energy. There you go. All right, so we will be back with God's help tomorrow, and the mitzvah for tomorrow is related actually to what we just talked about. That a worker is allowed to eat from the crops, and so we'll get a little bit more deeper into that. But we are in fact learning two new mitzvahs on that topic. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I know this is a short one, but it's getting kind of late. So, all right, thanks for joining me. Have a great night and happy Hanukkah.